So it will be Colin going first with the Morris Boys Camaro. 877 dial in for him. Then it'll be Barry doing the chasing. Barry's catching. It's all about the stripe, and it is a double breakout. 876 to a 750. Both of the breakout by less than 100th, but it is Barry Giles that just takes that one. Excellent race. 0-2 win margin at the stripe. Basically, Barry Giles was 0-1 off the line. Colin Morris was 0-4 off the line. Very, very close indeed, but a double breakout. Moving on to 950 bike, Rob Stanley and Dave Hall. Oh, pick and choose this one at the stripe. The win light going to Rob Stanley with a 960 to lose out 997. Warren goes into pre-stage. Okay, now settle the nerves. Here we go. It's all about the sprint to the stripe. Going to be close. And it is a 9:10 for Warren Watts. Not good enough. So this is the final of Street Eliminator. Andy Bond and Tony Higgs. Well, fair to say, Street Eliminator has been a phenomenal class this weekend. Tony Higgs, the numbers that he's been running this weekend, 195 mile an hour in his previous run on the bike. He went 197 in round one. But he's going to need everything he's got to try and get around Andy Bond here. So let's see how they get on. Andy Bond with the Ugly Sister in Slick Tricks Lane. The Triggers Broom Capri in the Kestrel Lane. Here we go. Final Street Eliminator. Oh, and Andy Bond has blazed the tyres. And Tony Higgs has got loose. It's all about the battle to the stripe, and it is. Tony Higgs hangs on. Oh my goodness me. The win margin was 0.16 at the stripe. Oh boy. 8:18, 2:03 for Andy Bond, 8:15. Look at the reaction times. 0:05 off the line for Andy Bond, 0:16 for Tony Higgs. But it is Tony Higgs that has taken that one. What a final that was. Very right, it is Comp Eliminator. Nick Williams taking on Gary Carr. And looking what's going on out there, the high horsepower cars are struggling a little bit. This could be Gary Carr's moment to take an event win. It really could be. His index is 1172. Nick Williams 880. The Copo has been absolutely flying this weekend. They're good mates, they're teammates. But let's see what happens here. Gary Carr qualified number 2. Nick Williams qualified number 1. As I say, teammates, good mates. But anything can happen here. Gary Carr, as I say, could be in with a shout here. It all depends how Nick's car launches. If Nick spins the tyres, then it is Gary's golden opportunity. Let's see. Oh, no wheel spin whatsoever there for Nick. That was planted. And Nick goes by and takes the win with an 8.16, only 145 mile an hour. Gary Cargo's 11.21 at 116 win margin, 0.13, and it is Nick Williams that takes the win. Lucas Oil's Junior Dragster, the final. Liam McDonald taking on, come on Ted, come on Liam, let's have a good final. This is what we want. 8.34 dial in for Ted, 8.25 dial in for Liam. Well, fair to say Liam has had a phenomenal start to the defence of his national title. It's his last year in the juniors, as he'll be too old next year. But can he start his campaign off with the event win? He was #1 qualifier. Unbelievably, Ted was #2 qualifier. They are off and running. Gonna be a close one at the stripe. It's a win for Ted Sullivan. 0.11 off the line against a rather late Liam McDonald, a 0.23. But Ted takes the win. Congratulations to him. To your next class. Defending national champion Gary Lake taking on the family cat Richard Palmer. Richard qualified #2 here. Gary Lake all the way down in 24. Now they're not quite sure how the points work if you get bonus extra points for an event win. But having said that, I think Richard Palmer's going to leave here as a points leader regardless of what happens. Because looking at the qualifying points, Richard qualified 2, Gary Lake 24. So, is it going to be the Jag dialing in 13.43? Is it going to be the Trans Am dialing in 14.02? Gary Lake will be leaving first. Ooh, yeah, Richard goes in. Gary goes in, the tree counts them down, both of them get the green. Gary Lake holding on to that lead at the moment on the brakes and takes that with a 14.12 to lose out 13.44. In effect, a whole shot win, an 0.4 light to a 0.24. Right, next up, Ian Critchlow and Craig Wright. This is the final of 8.50. We know Eileen Wright is tuned in for the final. Wishing Craig all the best, but going alongside Ian Critchlow. Both of these boys know how to race 8.50. Exceptionally good riders, the pair of them. Here we go, the final of 8.50 bike. Both away well. Oh, but Critch has spun the tyre, I think. It is all Craig Wright. And it's a 9.10. Craig Wright takes the win in 8.50 bike. His first win in 8.50. Congratulations to Craig. Great start to his season. Right, Pro ET. The last of our car classes, actually. Stevie Gates taking on Nick Mugridge. What a weekend for Stevie Gates. Debuted the car yesterday. Didn't actually manage to get a test pass in on the test day. But the Hailing Island Garage Squad absolutely deliriously happy with this car. Guaranteed a trophy, but which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the victory trophy, the coveted trophy, shaped, of course, on the Santa Pod gantry? Or is it going to be Nick Mugridge with that little junior comp dragster? Nick Mugridge knows how to win events. He's done it plenty of times in his junior career. But here we go, the final of Pro ET. And of course, looking at these two, it will be for the points lead as well. They qualified 19 and 20. The Darlings, 10.06 against 8.58. him sort it out at the stripe. It's Stevie Gates that takes it. 860 on an 858, an 02 light as well. Nick Mugridge wasn't late with an 07, but the 10.07 not quite there. The win margin at the stripe, 0.02 of a second. Stevie Gates for the Hailing Island Garage squad takes the win. Right, two-wheeled finals, just 4 to go then. Comp bike, Mark Dainty, Danny Cockrell. Danny, one of the few people in UK drag racing that have gone 200 mile an hour on 2 wheels and 4 wheels now. Well, I say 4 wheels and 2 wheels now, getting the right way around. But this is the final. Brilliant race. Look, oh, there's a problem there for Mark Dainty. It's going to be Danny Cockrell who takes the win here with a 7:58 1:49. There was a little bit of a spark coming from the front end of Mark Dainty's bike. 13:14, very early shot off to a 46 mile an hour pass. But it is Danny Cockrell that takes the win in comp bike. 3 finals to go. Junior drag bike, Holly King taking on John McLean. Holly, of course, a former champion in the class. She'd done it twice before. John McLean on the Spud Missile. Would love to emulate that, but Spud would love to get his first event win here. The Darlings End, John 11.90, Holly King 8.10. So it is going to be the Spud Missile leaving first. Can he hold on? Both going to stage at the same time. There goes John McLean. Oh, but Holly left before the tree activated. So it is a win for John McLean. Very well done indeed. Oh, 11.94 and 11.90, darling. Congratulations there to young John McLean. And against all of the odds and delays and cold weather, you name it, we're getting it done. Just 2 finals to go. This is Super Street Bike. Alan Morrison taking on Jake Michelle, number 4 and number 3 in the qualified order. So Jake Michelle, 6.66 in the semi-finals, going alongside Alan Morrison, his quickest ever run in round 1, 7.16 at 198. But everybody in Super Street Bike down to watch this one. They're both away. Alan putting up a good fight, but Jake starting to pull away now. And Jake goes 7.13 at only 163 to a 7.33 183. Is Funny Bike. And is Eric taking on Ashwin. Right, it's going to be a solo then for Eric in the final. Unfortunately, Ashwin not able to get the bike to do what it should in the burnout box. So we're going to wrap our day up with a solo here. Oh, without doubt, his best run of the weekend. 7:10, 192. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is game over. We've got it done. We managed to get it done in daylight. Thank you ever so much indeed to everybody that hung around and stayed to watch all of the finals. To the SPRC, our track crew, huge thank you to you indeed. To all of the timing crew and everybody up in the tower, to all of our pit lane marshals, to our spotters, to Nitro FM that have been hanging around in the background for us. They're always there when we need them. And of course, the new team at Eurodragster.com. A huge thank you to them indeed. This weekend, of course, Graham Watkins on the keyboards. It sounds like a band actually, but no, when I say keyboard, he's typing. Chris Wynn, Dave Nelson obviously in the background there, Julian Hunt, photographer, and Katie Higgs this weekend, pit photographer. So well done to all of Eurodragster. And I just want to say, before I switch off from this part of it, there is another gentleman that's been sat in Eurodragster today, and that is Simon Groves. Simon, hopefully you can hear what I'm saying. If you just come in to the commentary box, I just want to say, Simon, thank you ever so much indeed for the phenomenal support that you've given Daryl and I and the drag racing community and literally everybody over the years. Thank you, mate, because you've made our job a lot easier. Your support has been fantastic. The coverage that you've given everybody is great, and I think you all agree that Eurodragster is in safe hands going forward.
Yeah, and thanks for your comments. And
pleasure, mate.
I'll always keep in touch.
Yeah, don't be a stranger.
No.
Just keep coming up and see us. But Simon, thank you ever so much indeed. We're going to sign off from the tower. It'll be trophy presentations, 20 minutes to half an hour's time, obviously down on the start line. But from the tower for the time being, thank you ever so much indeed. Nitro FM 96.2. I'm going to hand the airwaves over to you, and in due course I'll say to you, can you fade my microphone up, which hasn't even been switched on yet. But I'll catch you all soon. Thanks everybody. Our next championship round, believe it or not, is at the new rescheduled Festival of Power in 4 weeks' time. Until then, keep yourselves safe, and we'll see you soon. Cheers then.